Very good. Let's close this scene and let's go forward in the life of Rohim. Let's go to a significant moment in that life. Be there now and tell me the first thing that you see.
Oh, I think my oldest was taken from me.
Tell me about that.
Mm, they're foreigners. Oh, I don't like that.
The foreigners, tell me about the foreigners.
They're they're wild. Um, there's no they don't care about anything. They don't care. They don't have respect for anything.
Where did they come from? Where are they from?
Like a desert of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. They're very primal.
Mm-hmm. Why did they take your son? Why did they take your oldest son?
They took my daughter
They took your daughter. Why did they take your daughter?
because she's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they took her, uh, and I can't find her.
You can't find her. And so what happens next?
Oh, my wife is crying. She just cannot. Oh, I don't like them.
Mm-hmm. And so what do you do, Rohim? What do you do?
I can't do anything. I just become angry, and I become. I don't. I start hitting things, and I start. There's nothing I can do. I can't even look for them because I'm blind.
Mm-hmm. So what happens next?
Uh, my heart just hurts so much.
Mm-hmm. So feel your heart hurting. Feel that. Allow that to come up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Feel that frustration, that anger, and the grief. And so now what happens next, Rohim?
I just become angry.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything more about this moment that has significance for you?
Uh, I think that's where I just become angry, an angry person. I don't have love.
Mm-hmm. You're angry. They've taken your daughter and you feel angry. And I want you to project forward into your life. Do you ever recover your daughter?
No.
Mm-hmm. And what happens to the rest of your kids, your other three children?
They just live their lives and become resentful of me.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to project forward into your life, Rohim. Are you angry for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
So now I want you to go to the end of your life. Fast forward to the end of your life now, your last breath. I want you to go to the moment before your body dies, the moment before you leave your body. And I want you to tell me, what has your life been like, Rohim?
Full of regret.
Mm-hmm. And where is your wife?
She's by my side.
Mm-hmm.
She's caring for me.
Mm-hmm. And where are your children? Where are the three others?
They also they also are there.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any grandchildren?
There's little ones there.
Mm-hmm. And so what's going on with your body? Why are you dying?
I have a hard time breathing.
Okay. You're having a hard time breathing. I want you to go into the lungs and tell me what's going on with the lungs, Rohim.
there is a bug,
Mm-hmm.
the meat or something,
Mm-hmm.
and that got into my body.
Mm-hmm. Is there an infection?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's in your lungs?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to take your last breath, Rohim. Take your last breath and rise up out of that body. Rise up out of that body and just let that body go. And I want you to describe for me what you're experiencing as you rise up out of the body. What do you see around you?
It's it's so still. It's so dark.
Mm-hmm. Where are you going?
I just am.
Mm-hmm. I want you to feel around you. What do you feel around you?
I feel trees.
Mm-hmm. And I want you, as you're here in this space, this restful space, I want you to reflect on what it is that you learned about yourself in the life of Rohim. What did you learn?
You can't control everything that happens to you.
Mm-hmm. What else did you learn?
I learned that things just happen and you can't control them.
Mm-hmm. I want you to feel that and I want you to breathe. Feel that and breathe. And I want you to rise up now. Rise up and tell me when you see the white light above you and around you. Tell me when you see it. Rising up out of that life. The white light is all right here for you. Tell me when you see it.
I see it.
Mm-hmm. And I want you to just blend right into the white light and you become it. And the white light is all around you and within you. There is no difference between you and the white light. And now, in the white light, are all of your guides, all of your angels here waiting for you. And tell me when you feel them.
I feel them.
Mm-hmm. And tell me when you see them.
I see you.
Mm-hmm. So allow the first guide to come forward and present themselves to you and describe for me your first guide.
He looks like a person
Mm-hmm.
and has long hair.
He has long hair, and ask him his name and tell me the first thing you hear.
Kamut.
Kamut. Mm-hmm. Does
Mm-hmm.
that sound correct when I say Kamut?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And so ask Kamut how he helps you in your lives. What does he say?
He helps guide me, when I'm wrong.
He helps guide you when you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And ask Kamut, what is it that you needed to learn in the life of Rohim? What did you want to learn in that life?
process. I can't. I needed to learn that I cannot control everything, and it just is.
Ask Kamut if you have other lifetimes before the life of Rohim where you were controlling.
No.
No. So where does the want for control come? Where does that come from? Wanting to control.
From his dad?
From whose dad?
Rahim's dad.
And who is Rohim's dad on a soul level? Who was that? That was Rohim's dad.
I can't figure it out.
Ask Kamut. Ask Kamut to tell you. What does he tell you? Listen to the first thing he tells you.
It's my dad.
Yes, very good. And so ask Kamut why you were shown the life of Rohim. How is it affecting the life of Kathia?
I need to surrender.
And why is Kathia, Kamut, why is Kathia having a hard time surrendering?
Because she feels powerless.
Why does she feel powerless, Kamut?
I don't hear it.
It's okay. Are there any other spirit guides that want to come forward? Tell me who you see.
Oh, I see the. Oh, I see the Arcturian.
Tell me about the Arcturians.
They are tall and blue. So they're there.
How do they guide you?
They want me to love.
They want you to love. How do they help you with that?
They show me what's wrong and I don't want to look at it.
So what is it that's wrong that they want you to see?
The way I see myself.
The way I see myself. And how do you see yourself?
As failing.
And what do they want you to see?
How I thrive.
And so ask them to show you how you thrive. Describe for me what they show you.
They show me blue hearts.
Blue hearts. Tell me more about that.
I think they're telling me that I thrive by being happy.
I thrive by being happy. Anything else? Any other messages that the Arcturians have for you?
Learn to love yourself.
Learn to love yourself. Beautiful. Learn to love yourself. Very good. Are there any other guides that want to come forward?
I don't see anyone.
Who am I speaking with right now, please? Who is this? Who's me?
Roger?
Say that again.
Roger.
Roger. Roger, who are you?
I'm annoyed
You're annoyed. Why are you annoyed, Roger?
because I feel like I can't move.
Why can't you move?
I was not able to move.
When? When were you not able to move, Roger?
When the car accident happened,
Yeah. Which one? Which car accident?
the one I was in,
The one you were in. When were you in a car accident, Roger?
1922.
1922. And what happened? What happened with the car?
It lit on fire. It's like literally really hot in here.
Are you in the car now, Roger? Okay.
Yes.
So describe for me what's happening.
Somebody hit me.
Mm-hmm.
I was just driving alone. Somebody
Yeah.
hit me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't move. It's hot. It's really, really hot. It's
Mm-hmm.
really, really hot.
Okay. So Roger, I just want you to breathe and be with me. I'm here with you, okay? And I want you to know that you're safe. So Roger, did your body burn up in the car?
Yeah.
Okay. And so do you know that you are in the body of Katia right now or Kathia right now? Did you know that? Did you know that you're in the body of Kathia?
I am very, very hot.
I understand that. But do you know that you are in the body of a woman right now? Did you know that?
Yes.
How did you find Kathia?
Through
I know.
Hector.
I know.
Hector.
Through Hector. Who's Hector?
Hector is her ex.
Hector is her ex. And how did you find Hector, Roger?
He called me.
He called you. When did he call you, Roger?
It's hot. It's hot. It's hot.
I know, Roger, it's hot. So, Roger, I want you now to bathe yourself in ice cold water. Roger, I want you to breathe with me. And I want you to just now put yourself in a big tub of ice cold water. Ice cold water. Can you feel it, Roger?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you feel the ice cold water? It's nice and soothing and cooling.
Okay.
Nice and cooling. It's right here and you're in it.
Okay.
I can see you in the ice cold water. You're in a big clawfoot tub. It's relaxing, isn't it? It's
My hands are
nice.
numb.
Okay, I just want you to just relax. You're with me right here and I've got you, okay? It's all good. And you're in a nice ice cold clawfoot bathtub. It's just ice cold water and you're just relaxing and it's just cooling you down. Can you feel the cooling? Can you
I'm
feel
getting
it?
there. I'm getting
Okay.
there.
You just keep breathing, Roger. You just stay with me here. So, Roger, while you're cooling down, I want you to tell me how you found Hector, Kathia's ex-husband. How did you find Hector?
Hector is in pain.
He's a pain, but how did you find him?
He is in pain and he's always using drugs.
Oh, he's in pain and he's always using drugs. So, did you find him when he was high?
Yeah.
Did you enter his body then?
Yeah.
Why did you enter his body?
He is vulnerable.
Okay. And so, how did you get into Kathia's body?
When they were mating.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, you transferred into her body then?
Yeah.
Good. How old was she when you transferred into her body, Roger?
She was 15.
Okay. So you've been in her body since she was 15. Okay.
It's not in her.
All right. So what's going on with her breathing? She couldn't breathe and she's now coughing. Why is she coughing now? And is that connected to her not being able to breathe as a child?
She needs to learn to use her voice more clearly, and she knows the truth, and she doesn't express herself spiritually. Otherwise, it will continue.
Mm-hmm. So the cough that she's having now is because she's not speaking her truth.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. So how can she remedy that? What's the solution for her releasing her cough?
She needs to. She needs to speak to everybody that is hindering it, whoever that might be.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to speak the truth.
She needs to speak her truth. And so do you give her situations, Kamut, where she can speak her truth?
Of course.
Mm-hmm. And so how can you help her to speak her truth so that when she is in those situations where she needs to speak up and speak her spiritual truth, how can she do that with more calm and peace and balance? How can you help her with that?
Well, I've always been with her, and she's always been a free spirit. She's always been able to communicate. Um, so she just needs to be able to ask.
Ask for your help.
Yes,
And now that she knows your name, Kamut, how do you spell your name so she knows?
that's a Kamut.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How long has she known you, Kamut? How long have you been one of her spirit guides?
I've been with her since the beginning. Her soul.
Since the beginning of her soul was born from source?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Do you come from another star system?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What star system do you come from? Is there an English equivalent to that?
Andromedan.
Oh, you're Andromedan. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one of the star systems that she's from?
She's a combination.
Mm-hmm. What is her combination?
She's an Arcturian
Mm-hmm.
Andromedan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she comes from both star systems.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Now, the overeating we discovered through Roger. Roger was the this entity that was possessing her, that Roger wanted to have ice cream in order to cool off the fire from the car accident and the fire that he died in. But she is having problems with overeating, unbalanced eating patterns. She said it started with her pregnancy with Ibis and after. And she says that she's also doing binge eating and then not eating. It's still going on, the binge eating. And then she says she's not taking her weight loss or her health seriously. So can you please tell us why that is?
She's just avoiding.
What is she avoiding?
So she's just avoiding her true self and her truth and her stress.
Why is she avoiding this, Kamut?
It's easier for her to cope with stress.
Mm-hmm. So what can you recommend to her so that she stops avoiding the stress? What can she do? What kind of spiritual practice can she do? What kind of diet should she have? Give her some advice, please, so she can hear it.
Well, she needs to learn to meditate.
Mhm.
She needs to go and eat outside.
She needs to eat outside. Is there a place outside that's inviting for her to eat at?
Just outside.
Just outside the house? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Nature's going to
Right.
help her. And
Yes.
how often should she meditate?
Every day.
For how long?
At least 6 months.
And for how, like, should she meditate for 5 minutes or 10 minutes every day?
At least 20 minutes.
At least 20 minutes. And what should she focus on when she's meditating?
Her higher self.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, Kamut, thank you. Kamut, do you have any words of wisdom for humanity at this time of this great change?
There's too much regret.
There's too much regret.
People are not living their life they're supposed to live, and they need to learn to love themselves and
They need to learn to love themselves,
live more freely, and love each other.
live more freely and love each other. How do they do that, Kamut?
Practicing self-love.
By practicing self-love.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kamut. Thank you. That's so helpful.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that we need to address today, or are we complete?
We're complete.
Very good. I want to thank you. Thank you so much for all of your wisdom, for all of the help with Kathia. Tingling all over you, start to stretch and move. Fingers and toes and arms and hands are coming back to life. 9, 10, eyes open, wide awake. Welcome back.
That's intense. There's something here. Oh, okay. The message.
Yeah, the message that you're being recorded is there.
Yes.
So, how do you feel?
That was an experience. Trying to get up.
Don't try to get up yet. Just sit there and just take it in. How long? Don't look at a clock. How long do you think the session was? How long did it feel to you?
It felt like 30 minutes.
Felt like 30 minutes. Are you in Central Time or are you in Mountain Time?
Central.
Okay, so you're 2 hours ahead of me. So you went under at 3:08 and it is now 4:37. So you were literally 1 minute shy of 2 hours.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Isn't that powerful?
Yes.
Yeah, it just goes to show how
wow
flawed linear time is. You went into a deep delta space and you touched into gamma probably about 3 times. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. When you were really feeling the love, especially with Kamut and the Arcturians, you were going right into gamma.
Wow. That was intense. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Kathia, you just had your first personal quantum healing hypnosis technique session, QHHT. And how are you feeling now? Are you remembering it?
I think most of it, yeah. I think so.
Do you remember the past life that you went into?
Yes. That was wild.
So it's interesting. You were, do you remember your name?
No, actually.
Rohim.
Rohim. That's right.
You were Italian. You lived in Rome.
Oh.
In 12 AD.
I remember saying that.
And you were like, you were waiting for more. You kept saying, you said 12. 12, yeah, you lived in 12 AD in Rome.
Wow.
To a violent father and a sad mother.
Yeah.
Your little brother died of an illness because your father beat him.
Yeah.
Your father beat you until you were blind. But guess what wonderful, amazing ability you learned from being blind in your eyes? What were you able to do?
Connect with my spiritual
remote
higher
view.
Self.
It's actually called remote viewing.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, you were able to remote view.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, you were a remote viewer. So guess what ability you have now in this life, Kathia? It transfers. You have the ability to remote view. You just haven't turned it back on again. You just have to activate it again. That's all.
And you know what's so funny? I'm actually pretty blind myself. Like I have really bad vision. Bad.
Well,
So,
those of us, like, you'll notice, I mean, these are like magnifying glasses. They're like, look at how big my
that's,
eyes are when I have them on. So
yeah.
I only wear them. I used to wear contacts, but I only wear them when I have to see, like here's your notes on my iPad. This is what I use to take notes with.
Mhm.
But as a psychic medium, as a quantum healer, as a medical intuitive, I'm able to see without any corrective lenses. So my left eye is supposed to be my
Mm.
worst eye. It's that's the eye that has an astigmatism. This is the
Mhm.
eye that sees spirits and angels and fairies and orbs and people's auric fields and chakras. And I get to see the whole world through this eye. This is my strongest
Yeah.
eye. So
Wow.
those of us, a lot of times that have inner vision, clairvoyance, we have very poor human eyesight.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm a remote viewer.
Wow.
So are you.
That is so wild. I didn't even know.
Surprise.
I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't understand that.
So it's some of it because you remembered the life of Rohim, where he has, because you kept saying throughout the life, I mean, I'm blind, but you were first of all using third person because you weren't acclimating into that body. And so I kept cueing you onto that. And you kept saying, he's blind, but he can see. Like, I can see gravel, I can see my shoes, my feet, I'm hairy, I could see all of that. He can see all of that because he's a remote viewer.
Wow.
Yep. And so he actually had an amazing life because he was
Mm.
able to see from higher up, from the third eye.
Yeah.
That's what remote viewing
Wow.
is. So you have that ability as well. And so when you hear the recording of this, that's going to help you to activate some of that, to get that sensation again.
Gotcha.
Going to help you to remember the feeling. Remote viewing is a feeling. It's all vibration.
Okay.
It is a skill that you have to practice, but you have to use your imagination for it, because
Yeah.
imagination is intuition.
Exactly. Yes. And I can kind of understand that because I can work on someone and just see something. Like, what am I seeing? I know I would always just call it psychic, but I can
That's
just see.
Yeah, you can see, well, that's clairvoyance,
Oh,
but to
okay. Well,
be,
then that's
yeah.
different.
So your clairvoyance is really strong, but to be able to remote view is literally being conscious of being able to see someone else's life or above your body, or you can literally go places and see what people are doing.
Oh my gosh.
That's what you were doing in that life. You were seeing everything from above.
Wow.
You didn't need a walking stick. That's why I asked. I don't know if you remember if I asked, do you use a stick to
Mm-hmm.
help you walk with? No, you don't need to, because you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wasn't seeing through clairvoyance. He was seeing through remote viewing. He was seeing through his third eye, and he was seeing from his crown and above.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
So you have that ability, and it's just about
Mhm.
listening to the recording once I send it to you so that you can start to really activate that more.
Okay.
Let me ask you this, Kathia. Were you surprised about Roger?
I mean, oh my gosh, I felt that. I was on fire. I'd
We're
never
on
felt
fire.
that. I thought it was going to happen again and I was scared. So I remember the spirit guide saying something about my arms, but I felt fire in my arms. Like, wait a minute, is he back? Like, it really was
I know
not
it was
scary. It
intense.
was
It
it
was
was
intense.
just hot.
It was
Like
really
hot.
intense. No, and you'll
Yeah.
see in the recording how the energy shifts when Roger all of a sudden pops forward. It surprised me. I didn't sense Roger at all. And I usually sense entities in a body
Oh.
or in a field. But when Roger popped up, I was like, oh, we've got an attachment.
Oh my gosh. How does that even why?
So Roger has been the main cause of your overeating.
Oh, that son of a gun.
Roger has been the main cause of your pregnancy problems, your uterine problems, all of that. Roger's been the cause of all that. He was attached to your uterus and your sacral chakra. He's been blocking your creativity, which will also block your income from coming in.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because root and sacral, they all rule financial flow.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, you can tell me anything.
So when I was with my second ex,
Mhm,
the one that got shot,
mhm,
I got pregnant. We had her. And
mhm,
after that, I said, I'm not going to get pregnant again because
mhm.
I don't know his state. It's just not going to happen. I don't
That was
know.
wise.
Well, what happened is I got on birth control, and on top of birth control, we used condoms,
Yeah.
and I got pregnant twice. Twice. So I
You
felt
didn't even
bad
know.
because
You didn't
I
want it.
did I didn't want the baby, and it happened
That's why.
twice. And then I had got pregnant again. Then I
Crazy.
had my fourth, my Isabella, and she fought to be here because I was like, no, no, no. And they were like, yes, yes, yes. So I
Wow.
had her, and then it happened again after her.
Yeah.
I feel like that makes sense of like, why would I do that? That's not who I am. And I
No,
didn't want to get pregnant after that.
that was Roger.
Oh, that little
That was
mischievous.
Roger. And when he kept saying, I'm good, I'm good, you'll hear it. You'll hear the whole recording.
Oh my
Your
God.
voice completely changed. So your throat chakra opened up, and Roger's has got this loud voice.
Oh my
Completely, your voice
gosh.
is completely different when you were speaking with
Yeah.
Roger. So you'll hear it. But we sent him home to
Yeah.
Mama Mary. He was looking for
I
Mama Mary.
I remember that. I
His
remember
Mama
saying that.
Mary. So he died in 1922 in a car wreck, which back
Mhm.
then in 1922, those were the cars right after the Model Ts. So he was in some of the very first commercial cars, and it had to have been a Ford because that was the only company at the time. So like
Wow.
I asked him, what year is it? He was 19. He's like,
Oh,
I'm a good guy. I'm good. I'm a good guy.
yeah.
He just completely misguided and just really uneducated,
Oh.
not educated at all. And I don't know, there was a good chance. Oh, I didn't get the reason why he was in a car accident. I didn't need all that information, but I kind of intuitively wondered if he actually stole the car, because you would have to have money to have a
Mhm.
car back then. And he was speaking like he was kind of a hick.
Oh.
Mhm.
Huh.
He was speaking like you would have to. The cars were expensive.
Wow.
Most people couldn't
Yeah.
afford a car in 1922. So I'm
Oh my
wondering if he stole the
gosh.
car.
Hey, you know what's funny? That's what my ex was doing. He was breaking into cars.
So it's going to be a vibrational match.
Yeah, makes sense.
And
And
when
he was 19.
yep, he was 19. And when he kept saying to me, I'm a good guy, I'm like, oh, that's when I kind of I asked Archangel Michael a little bit. I said, have we got a devious one here? And I heard, yes, we're going to take him out.
Okay.
So I have a feeling he was a car thief.
Oh, that little sucker. That's
And he attached to
crazy.
you because you are open. Listen, when we are healers, when we are psychics, we are very vulnerable. Our auric field is very large and expansive. And you were young, you were 15, it would be easy for him to enter your body at that age.
Yeah.
And you weren't
Wow.
aware of the level of your psychic abilities at that age either. You were in your darkness at that time.
Oh, yeah.
It was a
Of
dark period for
course.
you. So,
Yeah.
yep.
Oh
It
my
happens. And
gosh.
it's not uncommon either. I want you to know it's
Yeah.
common for light workers to get an attachment.
Wow.
Well, he's gone now.
Okay. Thankfully, thanks to you and thanks to everybody else. Thank you, team. Because like, wow.
He's gone now. So
Yeah.
you're going to find that your appetite reduces because he was just looking just to experience through you. He was
Oh.
looking to experience through you. So we found, do you remember how we found the cause of all your questions were answered? Do you remember the answers to your questions?
I want to say I do.
You
In the
do.
moment.
You were under very, very deeply.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
anxiety and nervousness and lack of confidence that came from your father.
Yeah.
That all came from your
Yeah.
father. The sleepwalking was all because you were experiencing other realms, and your young mind, the ego, didn't understand it.
Okay.
That's so common. That
Yeah.
happened to me too when I was a kid. That's very, very
Yeah.
common. You scared of the Indian in your sleep. That was the native that actually was on that land that you were in the house at the time. It's very
Yeah.
common.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense because we lived in apartments. I mean, this is the first home I own. My parents didn't own a home, so it was just apartments. There's a lot of energy. I know that.
Well, it's
And the
just because
land.
it's the land. So the
Mhm.
natives will do. I've encountered all kinds of indigenous in spirit
Wow.
form that have also. My kids have too. My youngest was scared of a native that was walking into my parents' garage
Oh my
here in
gosh.
Portland. Yeah, and he saw him when he was 3. He was like
Oh,
petrified and was looking, and I was like, I immediately just was like, I looked to the side because I knew I'd be able to see through my peripheral, and I had Kyan here. He was 3. He was on a little scooter. And he was
Oh,
like, oh, and he was like so scared. He didn't say anything. He ran to the door in the garage, and I just turned
poor
my head
thing.
and I see this guy with a tomahawk. He's got his hair pulled up and he's got a loincloth right over his front. He's got this big bare chest and he's got some sort of paint and insignia, and he's got the tomahawk up, and he's like, and freaked kind out. And so I opened up a portal and I sent him back, but it took a while for him to go back. He had fire
Oh,
and everything. So that's not uncommon. It's not uncommon. It
yeah.
does happen, but that's what you see. You're seeing that.
Okay.
So with the overeating, that was from Roger.
Yeah.
And then the binge eating was from Roger. And then that was also from you. And then the lungs was from you not speaking your truth and feeling your ego's repressing is what's happening.
Yeah.
Yep. So we opened up the
Mhm.
throat chakra. We opened it up really well. And then how does your stomach feel?
It's so funny because when you were doing that, I felt it. So I was like, okay.
The tightening.
And
So
yeah,
Kamut, remember I asked Kamut,
yeah.
as you sleep every night, shine that blue light on all the skin on your belly and tighten and tone it every single night for as long as it takes for it to start to really tighten up. Now, it's important for you, Kathia, to believe this.
Yeah.
Believe it.
Yeah.
Believe it, because what you believe is what you create.
Right.
So believe it. Then the OCD, always wanting to control everything, that had to do with your father as well when you were very young.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah, that makes sense.
mhm,
He's very stern. His voice, but he has that loud voice. So I
mhm.
think I was always just scared.
Yes.
Makes
And the
sense.
emotional imbalances were Roger.
Oh man.
That was
What
all
is
Roger.
Oh, that's so mean.
Also, love your intense personality when you have it. Love those times when you have it. Express yourself, speak your truth. So, all of this is about you being afraid to speak your spirituality, and you've got to speak your spirituality. You've got to speak your spiritual truth in the moment with everyone.
Okay.
That's why you chose all the Sagittarius.
Yes. Oh my gosh. The other day I went to the movies and there's a girl and I'm understanding that I have to do that. And I told her, somebody's screaming at me right now. You have to listen to your ancestors. And I cannot get over it. She was just taking our order. We're at the movies and she's taking our order for the food or whatever. And she's like, my mom tells me that too. And her mom's name was Kat. I go by Kat. And it's like the movie was talking about ancestors, and there was a whole cat scene. It was a thing. It was one of the new movies. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm understanding that if I don't say these things, it does do that.
You do.
Not just with family, but with others. And I'm like, well, how do you break that to people sometimes?
With
You know?
grace, with grace, with through love.
With grace, I've
With
heard
grace.
that before. So you're saying that.
Yep.
And I kept hearing and seeing that word
That's the
a lot.
Arcturians. That's the Arcturians.
Oh,
So call it, hang on, there's some
oh.
Arcturian light language coming in. Hold on just a second.
Mhm.
And they're saying it's so important that you love yourself in those moments and speak from your heart. So you want to know how to say those things to people. Speak from your heart. Tell people you love them. Take the chance, Kathia. Take the chance and speak your love to people. I love you. This is what I see about you. Literally say those words. I love you. It's uncomfortable for most, but people are going to get more comfortable with loving themselves when you actually speak it. It's important. It changes the vibration. It raises the vibration. Arata ehea naha u. Harata hasakea. Oroto shokoya ni ia. Harata sana eke anai. Hosoko na harata tasiata taharatu su 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 tu te harata. Harata tu su korana de ereta su korana erta tu su kota era rata ani ikia. You are beauty incarnate. You are an absolute blessing to humanity, to the world, to the universe, and to the multiverse. Accept this in your heart. Fill your heart up with the blue light of Archangel Michael, of pure source protection, pure love, pure enchantment. Breathe. Mhm,
Wow.
mhm. Good. How do you
Oh,
feel?
that's wonderful.
Mhm.
Feels like peace.
It is peace. Call in the archangels, but call in the Arcturians when you need help
Mm,
with all of these things. They're here for us. That's why they're our guides. They're here to
okay.
remind us of who we are. They're us and we're them. They want
Yeah.
us to remember this. There's no difference between us. There's no difference.
Oh,
You actually
gotcha.
have a blue light around you right now. So would you recommend QHHT to others?
Oh, absolutely. I love this. It's
Yeah.
very insightful, and I think they have to understand that it's something different. They have to be open to it. I think that's the main key. They have to be open to it. But absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh,
Wonderful.
yeah. Yes.
Wonderful. All right. Well, if you would like to have your own QHHT session, and I do give them online, Dolores Cannon changes, even though she said before she was when she was in her body, no, she was afraid of technology and all that. But guess what? She didn't know what was coming in this time when all of this, all of this so-called pandemic and everything.
Right.
And yes, out of the body, she has given us permission to do them online. And was this powerful for you, Kathia, to have
Oh,
QHHT online?
yes. I'm in my home, and you're in Portland, Oregon, and I'm in Pasadena, Texas. Like, yes.
This is very powerful
Absolutely.
and very effective. So there you go.
Mhm.
So if you would like to have your own
Yeah.
QHHT session online, please go to my website, sonyawilderwellness.com, and book it. I have lowered the price. Dolores asked me to make it affordable and
Mm.
valuable for all of you. So there you go. Thank you. I am going to end the recording.